was Inferno season 3. Normally, I don't really watch shows like this, but I saw a clip on Instagram, I think, that was just so ridiculous that I just wanted to see what the hell was happening in this show. It was actually the infamous helicopter scene. If you have no idea what I'm talking about though, Singles Inferno is a Korean reality dating show. And the concept is that they pick these hot, attractive people and they transport them to an island, which is called the Inferno. Side note, I just feel like it wasn't really the Inferno anyway, because they still had like water, food, a place to sleep in, shower probably, so it didn't seem like, like a real Inferno to me, but and they're supposed to talk to each other and figure out who they want to date, and if they pick somebody, they can go to paradise with them, which is usually at this hotel on Jeju Island, which, by the way, I've been to Jeju Island once, and let me tell you, the scenery that you've seen on the show, it did not do the island justice. It's like from another world. It's so beautiful. Anyways, in this hotel, they can eat whatever they want, and they can also ask each other personal questions that they normally cannot do back in Inferno, such as like what their job is, what their age is also, and they go on a date that usually is like a dinner or like a swimming in a pool, hot tub, like things that are kind of awkward to do on the first date, I feel like. And they are also supposed to sleep in the same room, which again, kind of awkward. But that's the concept of the show. And then at the end, they're supposed to pick one person that they would like to leave the Inferno with forever. And if they also choose them, then great, they have matched, which, by the way, not everybody was matched at the end of the show. Okay, so that's the concept. Now let's talk about what actually happened, because I've watched the whole thing in like a week, okay, and what was that? What was that? I'm just gonna say, I feel like this season was really entertaining. I've heard about the previous seasons, I haven't watched them. This season, it was just so funny, and the MCs made it even funnier. I love them, okay? They always had wonderful insights, and they sometimes would get fed up with these people that they were watching. It was just so funny. So the way this show started was that we didn't know that there would be actually 2 Infernos, and I love that concept. I wish they have kept it until like day 8, but that's because I just wanted to see all the chaos and I just wanted to watch the world burn a bit more. But I think they have merged the 2 Infernos on like day 3 or something. So the way this show starts is that everybody gets introduced, and all of these girls, I feel like it must have been scripted a little bit, because everybody was just like, oh yeah, like I'm the best, I'm the most attractive one here, obviously, like nobody has a chance against me, whatever. Like every girl was like that. And by the way, I still feel like at least some parts of the show must have been scripted, because sometimes it was just like way too convenient for something to happen that way. Regardless. And they just saw each other. They've eaten like one save the worst for last, okay? So, oh, and also it was Minyoung and Jisuk, right? Yeah, they also matched on the first date, and they have stayed with each other the whole time, which, let me briefly talk about them. It was so refreshing to see that, at first at least, like, Jisuk was only interested in like one person, and he made that clear. There was a scene where they were supposed to take candies and put them into like different boxes of people that they were interested in, like mailboxes, I guess, different people that they were interested in, and he just handed out like one candy, and he was like, this is like what I'm interested in, end of story, which was rare, because usually in these dating shows, like, everybody is just like, okay, I'm interested in like this person and this person, but he was like, no, just one person, end of story, period. And I was sitting there like I was impressed too, okay? But Minyoung did not like that, and I feel like it was because nobody else was interested in her, and you could tell that she liked him as well, but because nobody else was interested in her, and he was just like, oh yeah, like that's the kind of like my woman, she felt like nobody else is going to be interested in her anymore, which kind of ended up happening anyway. But the way she was going on about it, like, I don't know, I feel like it maybe was a bit of like insecurity, because she wanted to be with Jisuk, but at the same time she still wanted to be attractive and wanted the others, which usually tells me that that person can be like a little insecure, you know, because if you're confident in yourself and you're like, okay, one person is interested in me, okay, cool, then you wouldn't do stuff like she did, where she basically told him, it's like, annoying, girl. And then she regretted that choice when Minji showed up. She was just like all over him. It was so funny to see how the roles reversed. But yeah, they ended up together, I think, in the end, right? Yeah. Anyways. And you could tell that Jisuk was just holding grudges, because she was interested in like a lot of guys, but he was only interested in her, and I was like, you know, just, yeah. But anyways, okay. Now I'll talk about, was it Meno and Shion? They were my favorite couple, hands down. Just, I was rooting for them the whole time. They were also the only couple on the show that chose each other without going into paradise. So they didn't even know much about each other. They didn't know their ages even. Shion was like, I hope he's not younger, because Mino gave off this really mature vibe. I'll give him that. He was born in year 2000, right? So he was the youngest guy out of all of them, but he was giving this mature vibe. Like, if you compare him to Kwon Hee, for example, that dude was 36, and he was way more immature than Mino. Like, just, anyways, kind of tells you that sometimes age really does not matter when it comes to maturity, right? In a relationship. Anyways, it was so funny to see, like, Shion was just like, oh, I hope he's not younger, and then she learned that he actually was like 3 years younger than her, and she was just like, it doesn't matter anyway. And then Mino was just so excited. He was like, yeah, I'm into older women, great. I love them as a couple. I love them so much. And I was mad when Gyuri was scolding him because he ended up choosing Shion over her. And I felt like it was just so unjust. she was scolding him, like, girl, who do you think you are? I know. And the way Minna was just sitting there like this poor thing, not really saying much, and just listening to her, and she was going on and on and on about it, and she was so like scary and intimidating. And for what? Like, at that point she knew she lost. What is the point of scolding him? I don't understand. But again, maybe insecurity, right? Maybe like certain people just cannot handle rejection well. But girl, no. And I don't know, I was just so, I was actually getting like irritated watching it, and I just was saying like, just, I wish like Minna would just walk out, you know, because it was clear to me that he was not the type to get like defensive and fire back. Okay, cool, but like, why was he sitting there for so long? I just walk out, walk away and keep it moving, you know. Okay, so, then Gyori chose Mingyu, which was her second best choice anyway, and she was like torn between these two guys. But when Minu was torn between her and Shion, it was just like the end of the world. Like, girl, come on, you know. Okay. So then let's talk about Koani and the absolute, I don't want to curse, okay, the absolute menace that he was causing on this show. But I'm gonna say this, at least he made the show interesting. Like, he was a treasure for the show, because I mean, with these shows, the worse you are, the better, unfortunately, because that's what makes the drama, that's what keeps the show going, and what makes the people interested in the show. So like, on one hand, yes, like he was the reddest flag of them all. He was the red flag of the size of China and Russia together, okay, but he made the show interesting, unfortunately. I hate to say this. Okay. That being said, I did not like him on the show at all. Nah, absolutely not. Because I was thinking like, what was it that made these girls like so interested in him? I could not see it. Was it the height? Was it the fact that he was a professional basketball player? Because, like, looks wise, first of all, like, he was not my type. Okay, let's just say that. But then the way he was acting and how he was torn between these women, and his arrogance was just, it was too much. And at one point, the girls, this was still at the first half of the show before Minji showed up, they kind of have seen through his personality, because at the campfire he was just saying like, oh, I'm interested in like this. Who does that? But Hajo actually went after him, and I kind of liked them. I liked seeing them interact, because she was the only one who was being completely honest, and she was challenging him, right? Like, she was challenging his behavior, which made me think that he's not going to choose her in the end. He would not choose somebody that would challenge him like that and kind of mirror his behavior in a way, because she told him how disrespectful that was, and he was just saying like, oh, but that's just who I am. Okay, it's still disrespectful. Even because he was saying, oh, I just said like, oh, I'm interested in this, so that you could approach me. That's just who I am. Okay, cool. But that doesn't change the fact that he was just rude as hell. So, and then Hyesun was even making fun of him when he was so excited when the new girl showed up. He was just like, oh, like, our Guani is just so looking forward to hours of the show. Like, what was it? I don't understand. I don't understand. So, throughout the show, this new girl, Minji, showed up, and she's getting a lot of hate right now on social media, which, I don't know, it was still a show. Like, she might act very differently in real life, you know, but regardless, she was also getting on my nerves on this show, because she was just like, oh, like, I don't care who's paired up, she was playing like this role of a homewrecker in a way, which on one hand I feel like she had to do because she was introduced in the middle of the show, but still, I don't know. So of course, with this new girl, Kwan Hee was interested in her. So it started off with Hyesun, which he said at the very beginning he wasn't interested in her actually after they were in paradise together, because he said she's like not his type basically. So okay. And then it was Hajong, and then it was Gyuri, and then it was Minji, and then he wasn't interested in Hajong at all, which I kinda saw coming. So it was only Hyesun and Minji. And I feel like Hyesun deserved so much better, because she had this like very bright personality, and she did not deserve someone like Kwan Hee. I'm sorry, like, no. And the way she was also so friendly with other girls, like at some point she wanted to go to paradise with Mino, I think, and then she saw how Xion was just so excited about him, so she was like, oh, okay, I'll not pick him, and then somebody else ended up picking him. So she was like a girl's girl, and she knew what she wanted, which unfortunately was Kwan Hee. But the way he was constantly torn up between these women, it was just ridiculous. Like at some point, like, just make up your mind, and like, why? I don't get people like that. I don't. Okay? I don't. The way he was manipulating these girls was just so ridiculous, because he specifically told Minji to not go on a date with like a certain guy, and she actually ended up picking him. And this is where the infamous helicopter scene happened, and I was just, I can't. So we had Hyesun, we had Kwan Hee that went to paradise together, and then we had Minji and Mingyu, and at the front seat was Habin and Hajong, right? And picking Yason, which by the way, I'm glad she stood up for herself because it was getting ridiculous. Like whoever he talked to last, he would like more, and then she was just like, listen, I am done trying. I have tried enough, which I'm glad she said that. And I actually thought at the end she's not going to go and pick him as her final choice, which would have been just so much better. But I feel like the writers wouldn't allow that because they just wanted the tension, right? But it was too much, and at some point it's like, yeah, I have completely agreed with her. Like, she tried enough, and he was still like, oh, I don't know. It's just better to remove yourself from the situation and just move on, you know. But they ended up together in the end, unfortunately. I just want to say, please, if you meet a guy like Kwani in real life, at least how he was on the show, because I don't know in real life, right? So I'm just basing off my opinion on the show. Avoid guys like that or women like that at all costs, because you could see how much his personality was shifting, right? Like as soon as he was getting his way, he was this caring and kind guy. As soon as something happened that he did not like, it was like the complete opposite. It was like ice and fire, and that just made it seem like the kindness was kind of fake. Now I don't know if he realized like what he's actually doing. I don't know if people like this realize how manipulative it is, because if you would be with a guy like, or woman or whoever, like Kwani, like as soon as they get their way at all times, it's going to be paradise. I'm gonna make the metaphor here, okay? It's going to be paradise. As soon as something happened that like slightly he wouldn't, or he or she, whatever, wouldn't like, it's going to be complete hell and you won't get anywhere, right? Like, you could see that instead of maybe talking it out with Minji when she have done something that he did not like, instead of having like a healthy argument, healthy disagreement, he just shut down completely. And again, like 180. Just oh my god, no. Avoid people like that at all cost. You don't even have to date people like that. Even like if you have friends like that, avoid people like that, because they'll make you completely miserable. And you could see it. I mean, at the end of the day, he made everyone miserable. Yason, Hajong, Minji, everyone was miserable. And Yason got picked in the end, but was that really a win with a guy like that? Now, I don't know if any of these couples are actually dating right now or not. There wasn't a reunion, nothing, right? So most of them stayed off social media in terms of like posting their relationship and whatnot. So nobody really knows if they kept dating or not. Somebody says that it doesn't seem like with Kwani and Yason that they continue dating. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Now, I haven't talked about the people that didn't get matched. So that was Habin. Habin was just so confusing. I feel like he was on like a different wavelength than everyone else, and he was not really interested in anyone. And then as soon as he would finally be picked to go to paradise with, he just didn't ask any questions. He was just like, uncomfortable, whatever. Okay, what are you doing? I did not really understand what he was doing on the show. Maybe it was because he wanted to boost his he was not interested in anybody. He didn't really talk to anyone separately. Like, again, like, at least be a good actor and pretend that you are, just for the audience, because it matters, I'm telling you. Because now people are also saying that, oh, he just went on there to like boost his acting career and that was it. So maybe it was edited out, I don't know. But the thing is, like, you have to pull shenanigans like Connie in order to get screen time. So good actor would know that. Just saying. Or at least somebody that's like familiar with how reality shows work, you know. Okay, and then he was interested in Shion, but she did not like him back. You could see, and he didn't give up. And I kind of felt bad for him because at some point it almost became a bit annoying to Shion, right? Like, she just wanted to rest or just be one night in Inferno, and she would be picked by him anyway. It was just like, I don't know, I feel like at some point, if you see the person is just not interested, just move on. There's no point in keeping it going, you know, just move on. And he could actually get to know somebody else, and maybe he would be matched with somebody else, you know, in the end, but he didn't, he just didn't give up. And on one hand, I'm like, oh, it's so romantic that he has done that, and found the other, and it's like, it was just tragic. It was just tragic to see, because you could see that she just did not like him back, so just move on. Just, there's no point. Move on. Okay, so I think that'll be it for this video. I just wanted to chat about this show while it was still fresh on my mind, because I know that within like a week or two I'm going to forget most of events that have happened. Anyways, who was your favorite on the show? If you watched it, let me know, because I think for me it was definitely Hyesun. She was my favorite, and maybe Jisuk and Minu and Shion, because I really wanted them to be together, but yeah, those are my favorite people. Not Kwani, God, no. Absolutely not. Anyways, I feel like I should point out that it's still a show, and you might not know like how these people act in real life, and I just told you, like, in order for you to get screen time, like, you need to kind of do ridiculous things. So we don't know these people anyway. At least for me, I've never talked to these people ever, so like, I don't know. One last thing, it seems to me that the producers always pick almost the same type of girls, because apparently, like, almost all of the girls were at a beauty pageant for Miss Korea. Almost all of them. Hyesun wasn't. And then they always pick like somebody that's really smart. I feel like the producers should change it up a little bit for the next seasons, because we kind of get to see only like the same type of people always. So that's just my opinion. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.